Welcome to Resource Sessions. I'm Gwendolyn Sterk of Sterk Family Law, and today we are featuring our April 2024 Not-for-Profit Hero of the Month. And I am honored and privileged to introduce to all of you Carolyn Jackson, who is with Spark, Skills Provided for At-Risk Kids. Welcome, Carolyn. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Gwen, for having me.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about Spark. That's a mouthful. Skills Provided for At-Risk Kids.
Okay, so the history of this here started. My son was questioned at the age of 15 without my consent or my presence.
Okay.
He was detained, put in an unfair police lineup, charged with a crime he did not commit. So I started fighting the court system, knowing the description didn't fit my son, and the mistaken identification because of this had led to incarceration, of course.
Okay.
He can't find the correct jobs, as you say, the better jobs versus what he's getting paid now, housing and education. So as I was there and visiting my son, I ran across so many parents who was experiencing the same thing. And we talked, and like I said, my son was only 15 at the time. My son is 41 and will be 42 now. So that lets you know this was put on my heart. God put this on my heart to come talk to these people and find avenues to get all of our children something else to do. So I contacted the trades, and with the trades, they agreed to help me teach them.
Okay. And tell us how it is that you approach this to teach.
Could you repeat that?
Sure. Tell us how it is that you approach to get the teaching started so that the children are hearing this information.
Okay. Basically, I have been doing word of mouth. I've been going to different seminars. I've approached different schools where they do a career day, and we talked. I had a job fair. I've also Spark did a youth empowerment group where we partnered with UGMA to teach first aid, how to deal with gunshot victims. And so that turned out real well.
And so if somebody is looking for services or information, are you servicing not only the parents, but also then the youth, correct?
Yes, the youth mainly, but we do help with the parents as well. Let's say that I want to be an electrician, but my son wants to be into an engineer. So the programs can work for both children and parents.
So say somebody is interested and they want to become this electrician, right?
Yes.
What services do you provide to make that connection to make sure that they're getting into that field?
Well, I contact the persons with the electrician. We help work them through whatever they need, as far as if my math skills is not that correct, or we try to mentor them to bring them up to par to get into any trade that they are interested in.
And so how do you service, or what are the qualifications for somebody to call and say, hey, I need some help getting in a career and getting my life in order?
Okay, well, basically just through a phone call, which is 708-701-6913. They can call and we can talk about it. Once we figure out what it is that you need and what trade that you're interested in, then we can connect you with that trade.
And it kind of bridges the gap then for that individual to get started in the trade and get to school, correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, do you assist at all with the funding with regard to doing the trades and starting out any kind of requirements for education costs?
Well, so far we do. We take care of the books, any other supplies. There's some that may need clothing, so we help with that as well.
And what qualifications is there? You said any youth could call. So is there a certain screening process as to who Spark is going to help and not help?
Well, we work from the ages of 11 through 18.
Okay.
but we have been extending the services to the adults. But that's our primary goal. And usually when people say at risk, considering I started this here with my son being incarcerated and meeting the other parents, nowadays kids are at risk just because of their environment.
Okay.
Not saying that they're bad children.
Right.
At risk means I can be talking and get you to do something that I know it's not right. I've been looking at the crime spree of the snatch and grab downtown, carjacking. All of this here is basically someone influenced that person because they knew this person and it was the bad advice. So bad information makes all of our kids at risk.
So if I'm understanding, the solution is to redirect the children into a program that'll help them get on their feet on their own and be independent.
Yes.
Got it. And what, I know that your son was falsely incarcerated and now, I'm assuming he's a prosperous adult now at 41, and you've been doing this now for 16 years plus, right?
No, I ran from this calling, trust me. I started this in 2007. I finally got up and started the correct way.
Well, that's very interesting. So what made you start the correct way? What was the impetus for that?
I couldn't sleep. It wouldn't let me rest.
Okay.
I just couldn't rest when I kept seeing all of this here going on, the recidivism rate, the kids. It just wouldn't let me
Not having a
rest.
place to go to.
Right.
So now you have that ability to communicate with the parents. You also work with the child and help them get placement with the trades to be able to develop their skills. So let's say that somebody says, wow, this is a really interesting program, Carolyn. I would like to get involved. I don't need the services, but I want to help somebody else get
Yes.
services and make that connection. How could somebody who's listening today really get involved with your organization?
Basically, what we really is always need help with is counselors that can help our youth with trauma, grief, suicide, PTSD. Those are some things, or life skills, to teach people how to, our youth, shall I say, how to communicate verbally versus, nowadays you see all of them with cell phones and they do things on cell phones. So they're not actually communicating verbally, and show them how to how to pay bills, how to save, how to just do money management. So we need counselors and we need that.
And now the counselors don't necessarily have to be trained to be therapists. You're not looking for a license. You would accept people that are, common people like the rest of us, but we've been through the school of hard knocks. That's a great
Yes.
school sometimes, right? And
Yes.
then be able to then coach or stand by or mentor these children to be able to help them move forward.
Yes.
Very good. And then if somebody is able to mentor, or let's say they say, I just don't have the time to do that, are there activities that are involved where somebody could participate in a fundraiser or some type of sponsorship that's available for your organization at this time?
Yes. We always looking for sponsorships and funding. So, and that's a big thing.
Okay, very good. And then are you have any events that are coming up in particular where somebody might be able to get more involved?
Yes, so far we got 20 kids that
Okay.
we're about to place for jobs for the summer. So we have that, and soon we're going to be doing a clothes drive where we're giving out clothes.
Very nice. And so where would somebody bring that clothing to, and how do they get it to the program?
They will call me and set up a meeting so that I can be, my office is located in Robbins, Illinois.
Okay.
Again, the address is 13719 South Avers Avenue, and that's Robbins, Illinois. And I can be reached at 708-701-6913, and we can meet and they can drop the clothes off.
So clothing, a mentor, any kind of financial donation, and then anything else that's coming forward other than the clothes drive of something that somebody can get involved with.
If they know anybody that's hiring,
Okay.
let's
And
try to hire. because
Sure.
most of the ones that I'm hiring now is only for the 16 through 24. So
Okay.
sometimes we can probably use some for the younger kids.
And with regard to the summer programs, are those in the trades or are they any kind of company?
These were any kind of companies. So far, I got them set in like libraries, the police department, the fire department.
And various opportunities. But then in terms of long-term career, you're making the connections for them to go into the trades.
Yes,
And this, I'm assuming it's available for any child.
yes,
Could call you and say, this is what my needs are. So if you're a
yes,
parent out there today and you're listening and you're saying, wow, I know that my child's at risk. I, maybe they're a latchkey child, right? I mean, that's a lot of times kids get in trouble because mom and dad, or a combination of one or the other, they have to work too, right? So the children
yes.
sometimes have that freedom and then they get into trouble. So if you know a child that's out there, or if you need help, please reach out to Spark and contact Carolyn Johnson, and we'd appreciate it.
Jackson.
Jackson, I am so sorry. Carolyn Jackson. And give us your phone number again so everybody can hear that.
708-701-6913.
Well, it certainly is an organization that's needed for kids to make that gap, to get into their career and to work for the summer and start life. Life is about that. I think that what I'm older now looking back, and I think that the key that our kids need to hear is, life is this sort. Nobody every day doesn't want to get up to go to work, right?
Right,
But it's part of life, right? And it's kind of
right.
enjoyable, it can be fun, and it can be very fulfilling. So what a great connection to make. Thank you for your time, Carolyn. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.